Hi, my name's Travis, and today's practice is about taking our time to explore the tissues of our body with slower, longer holds. Think of this as a Yincation. So think of your favorite location to go away on holidays, and let's embody that while we're practicing. If you own a bolster, that's going to be super helpful. A block may do. If you don't own a bolster, you could get some really firm pillows. That could work as well. So we'll begin by lying down on our bolster in a pose called bound angle. So you'll have your buttocks on your mat, your feet out in front of you. You might take your block with you as well because you're going to roll down onto your bolster or your pillows. In some cases, it might feel even nicer just to have a block behind the back of the head. The intention here is to let the arms open out wide and let gravity do the work through the hips, inner thighs, and the musculature around the joints there. With the arms out wide, you get this sense of opening across the chest and heart space, a tendency of typing, holding tablets and devices, reading in a hunched over manner. Well, this is the counter pose to that. This opening across the chest, the stretch of some of the tissues that get a little tight in our day. And just let yourself rest into this space. Maybe your eyes are closed down. Maybe some of the sensation that feels the most intense is around the inner thighs and the joint in your hip. Just let your awareness rest there in a kind and compassionate manner. Letting the breath be super natural here. Don't create any restriction or be overly aware of the breath. Let the universe look after that. Maybe you can start to notice how the body is restoring and repairing here. The trust and the wisdom that the tissues now place in the knowledge that the breath is allowing us to calm the nervous system. So the response to a big stretch, a moment of insecurity in our body is tension. You can think of that when you might slip on something or become unstable. The body reacts instantaneously. Well, here, because you are letting all of that rest away by breathing slowly, letting it know that you are in control, and letting the body allow that freedom. freedom for it to open up, to stretch. In the process of stretching, I think about hydration, giving the cells a chance to absorb and recalibrate. Let fresh energy in and expel unwanted energy, unwanted waste products, tension, stress. We'll stay now for a final 10 breaths. Slowly start to walk your arms in towards you and use your elbows and your forearms as support to help start to peel your torso up and off your props. Lifting the body upright and coming into a seated bound angle pose. So bringing the soles of the feet to touch out in front of you and just counterposing that position by rounding ourselves forward. Just let this rebound feel really nourishing. It won't be as long a hold as the previous posture. So just let yourself rest here for a few moments and rebound, recalibrate. Start to peel yourself up and away. Slide your bolster and your props out. Bring it over to the left side of your mat. Slide it down. Take the block and place it all the way at the bottom of the mat. We won't need it here. Roll down onto your back. Bring your right knee in and give it a lovely big squeeze. Hug the knee in. Maybe move through your ankle by drawing circles with your big toe in one direction and then reverse. And then bringing the bolster in nice and close to that left hip, draw the right knee across your body into a twist, and we'll use the prop there as a location to place the right knee. The head might like to roll into the direction that serves it. So for me, I like to look to the right. Notice here if you've gathered some tension, whether you can release some of the musculature that's holding or gripping. Maybe even let go of the knee if you're holding it with your left hand. Remember though, feel free to move here, finding more sensation, less sensation. the nourishment for the digestive system here with the twist through the lower abdominals and abdomen. Maybe even notice if you can direct the breath to lift and lower your belly button and massage the organs of your digestive system. Once more, perhaps notice if you've just started to gather again a little bit of tension. For me, it's that left hip, left leg tenses up. Nice work, everybody. Now bring ourselves back to center and lengthen out both your legs and just reach for your bolster and just slide it over your torso and placing it on your right side. Hug the left knee in, give it a nice big cuddle and squeeze, point the left toes forward, draw some circles with the big toe. Right hand's the navigator to draw the knee across to the right. Taking your time to find that sensation that serves you here. Beginning to roll the head in the direction that feels good. And then start to come back into your center. Slide the bolster further away from you, give yourself a bit of space. And then big morning stretch, lengthen everything out, arms overhead, point through the toes, reach through your fingertips. And then turn this into a banana shape. So walk your heels to the left, walk your hands to the left and arch along your body, allowing the right side to lengthen and the left side to contract because you've walked your heels to the left and you've reached your arms to the left. Crossing one ankle over the other might feel super sweet for you. Holding onto the right wrist with your left hand might also feel nice. For the final few moments, see if you can find more length from the right pinky toe all the way through to the right pinky finger, and trace the awareness along the edge of your foot, along the edges of your legs, your hip, the sides of your waist, your rib cage, your shoulders, your arm, and all the way along to your fingertip. And then bring yourself through the center, lengthen everything out, big long stretch, and move to the opposite direction. So we're walking our heels over to the right, crossing an ankle over the other, holding onto our left wrist and creating that length down our left side now. And the asymmetry in our bodies could be evident here in the way you feel into the breath. So the left lung needs to make room for the heart, so it's not as big as the right side. And so with the heart and the lung lifted a little more here on the left side, maybe you can feel into the shallowness of that breath, or the less intense or size of the breath, volume of the breath, I should say. You might still notice how it's accordion effect on the ribs as the expansion and contraction plays a beautiful symphony with your breath. Let's do that same exercise again, focusing on our left side body. So pinky toe, edge of the foot, ankle, side of the leg, all the way up the leg to the hip. We're feeling into the length, expanding and lengthening. From there, we find the sides of our waist, the ribs, the corrugations of the ribs, the shoulder, the upper arm, the elbow, forearm, and then down the sides of the hand to the pinky finger. And with that final moment, let's come through a big length in the middle of our mat. So nice pointed toes, hands overhead. Roll onto our left hip and left shoulder, so we find our way into a fetal position. And then swing your way up to the top of your mat and come into an all fours position. So place the knees under the hips, the shoulders over the wrists. Spread the fingers wide and do a few calf pats now. So lengthen along the spine, open the heart and the throat. Draw the chin to chest, dome through the back. How about you do maybe 2 or 3 like this on your own? Let's work our way into thread the needle. So lift your right hand to sky, inhale breath, and then sweep it in and under your left shoulder to the left side of your mat, lowering your right ear down, looking to your left, walking your left hand out in front of you to the top of your mat. Maybe 2 more breaths here. And then return your left hand in front of your face. Press down with the right hand up to the sky. And as you look up at the right hand, draw some circles in the sky with the right big middle finger. And then lower it down. And then let's do all that on the other side. So left hand up. Dive it in, under, to the right. Walk your right hand out in front of you. And then bring your right hand back in front of your face. Lift the left hand to sky and point through the fingers and draw some circles in the sky. And lower the left hand down. Take your bolster out in front of you. Run it parallel to the edges of your mat. We'll find a puppy pose here by placing our elbows on the edges of the bolster, creating a prayer with the hands and lowering the head down between your elbows. Maybe the forehead places on the mat and the prayer comes to the back of the head. Let's take 10 more breaths here. Starting to lift your head, looking forward and coming onto your forearms on the bolster, lowering your lowest ribs to the edge of your bolster. Place your block out in front of you on the highest height and find a Sphinx pose by lowering your forearms down, spreading the fingers and widening the stance of the legs if that serves you as well. Place your block out in front of you to a position that allows you to lower the forehead down. If it serves you here, close down your eyes. If your block feels quite stable and you'd like to rock your head from left to right along the edge, free to do that.
perhaps you can notice the area around your belly button as the breath moves down and along and massages the organs of the digestive system. Maybe you can tune into the energy that flows along the spine. Can you feel the texture of your mat all the way down at the feet, around the toes and the top of the foot? For me, I can feel into the coolness of the flooring underneath my hands and my forearms. Let's hold for another 10 breaths. Let's awaken the ankles, roll the ankles, pressing back into a Japanese style child's pose. So inner knees, inner ankles come to touch. Sweep the hips back towards the heels, lower the forehead down, and sweep the arms back behind you. Let this rebound pose feel really nourishing. Enter into the field of gravity. Let the upper arms roll down and away. And let the hips settle back towards the heels. Tune into the curvature of your spine. This is our primary curve. Maybe you can become aware where you're gathering tension. For me, it's the frontal hip, the crease there. That's where I gather tension, softening with the mind's eye awareness. And it's very subtle, very nuanced. It's capable. Starting to peel your chest away from your thighs, sitting in an upright position. Sitting down on your right hip, and sweep the left leg out in front of you down your mat.
And take your right sole of foot inside the left upper thigh. So seated tree, left leg is long, right knee out wide. Rather than thinking about grabbing for the foot and tugging and pulling, let's just take a moment to allow ourselves some more restorative posture here. So just let the hands be passive beside the calf or the knee. Remembering, of course, you can feel free to place props wherever you feel suitable, wherever you need them. If you want it beside the right knee, underneath the right knee, please do so. Let's just say about 5 more breaths. Upon arrival of that last exhale, lift your chest up, hands behind you, lean back ever so slightly and just rebound in our Baddha Konasana pose. So just take a moment here to fold forward with the soles of the feet touching, knees out wide. Just 5 breaths. And then we'll take our seated tree in the other direction. So as you lift your chest, your left knee's already bent, so keep that as it is and let the right leg slide out in front of you. And remembering here, I don't mind if you want to hold the foot and pull and tug, but in this particular circumstances, we're looking for that more passive stretch. My left knee doesn't like to cooperate as much here, so I'm going to go and grab my bolster and slide it underneath it for support. And then starting to roll down the right thigh. Starting to peel your chest up and away from your right thigh, removing any props or bolsters out from wherever they may have been placed. And this time, as you bring your hands behind you, puff out your chest in front of you. Just give yourself a little counter pose as we head to a wide leg fold. So let the legs slide out. And I like to think of Goldilocks here. Not too far, not too close, but just right. And perhaps using your prop, in this case I'm going to bend my bolster so that I can roll down on it. Think about the muscles on the outer thighs being super passive, letting them melt away, rolling off their bone. And feel the weight of the bones of the legs resting down into the tissues of the calf muscles and the hamstrings. And feel super supported by that squishiness. And toes might roll in, might roll out. And one leg might feel heavier than the other. Say another 10 breaths here. And then begin to peel your chest up and away from your props. Place your bolster, your pillows over to the right side of your body. Bring your hands behind you, lean back a little, and bring the soles of the feet onto the mat in front of you. And do some windscreen wipers side to side. I'm going to head to deer pose to finish with the last two postures. So what I'll get you to do is next time your knees lower to the right. Actually, I'm going to swing around so you can see me in plain view. Bolster over to the right. So my knees will lower to the right, and I'll slightly swing them around to the left. So my left leg runs parallel with the edge of my mat, and the right shin runs parallel with the front of my mat. Place my bolster on my right hip, rotate around to the right, and if it feels nice with you, maybe start to roll down your bolster. And starting to walk your hands back, lifting your chest, placing your hands behind you, lean back, and let's take the feet back in front of us and do some windscreen wipers left and right. To set yourself up on the other side, grab your bolster, place it on your left hip, lower the knees to the left, and let the right leg swing down and along your edge of your mat, left shin out in front of you. Hug the bolster in nice and close, and then start to roll down the bolster to the left. There's an unnaturalness to this pose. There's a skewiffness in our legs. There's a lot of asymmetry, internal and external rotation on each of our legs. Doesn't surprise me that many of us have tight hips. We sit a lot for work and we are relatively sedentary. So this is one of the more welcoming of the quote-unquote hip opening postures. Welcoming and accessible, but nonetheless no doubt sensational. Begin now to start to lift yourself up and away. And let's just take a moment to do those little windscreen wipers with the knees. And in that process, I'm going to swing around so that I'm along my mat. I'm going to reach for my block and my bolster. I'm going to place my bolster behind the backs of my knees to elevate the knees. And I'm going to use my block as a little pillow at the back of my head. So as you roll down your back and lie down, lift the head and place the bolster at the height that serves you, and let yourself settle in here for our rest posture at the end of class. And once you've begun to settle in, maybe allow the breath to come out of the mouth a couple of times. If you feel like staying longer, please do so. If you're ready to continue on with your day, wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes. Roll the wrists and roll your ankles. Remove the prop from behind the back of your head. Reach the arms overhead, lengthen out. Swing your way up into a comfortable seat. Hands at the heart space, chin to chest. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you had a wonderful time. Loka samastasa pinulbalantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Greet this wonderful version of yourself and the remainder of your day with the Hindi word Namaste. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again real soon. Have a wonderful week, day, whatever's happening, and I'll catch you again. Bye-bye.